What is going on to all my movie fans out there, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are here to discuss the new psychological thriller by the name of Don't Worry Darling. Now this film has made the headlines recently for all the wrong reasons, but today we're just talking about the movie. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it worth checking out? Or is it as messy as the behind the scenes? We'll be discussing that and so much more in today's spoiler-free review. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any of my daily content. You can also get your boy a follow on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. All those links can be found in the description of this video. You can also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, as well as share this review, but more importantly, share your thoughts on this film. Of course, once you've seen it, from your pros, your cons, the story, did it work for you? Were you engaged with the performances? Were you disappointed by the film and the reveal? Let's have those conversations in the comment section. So let's just jump right into my spoiler-free thoughts here. I want to start off with Olivia Wilde. She's becoming, for me at least, a must-see go-to director. From 2019's Booksmart, which I was a fan of, and seeing the leap from that film into this film, it's a pretty huge leap from a narrative perspective, a scope perspective of the film, and I thought for the most part she did such a good job of bringing the pieces to this puzzle together, and the way she managed to keep the mystery going throughout the film and creating the 1950s, everything is perfect elements from this small town of Victory, as well as the tension that she builds within the first two acts. I thought, again, Olivia Wilde, 2019's Booksmart, comedy coming of age, now jump into a psychological thriller. What is she going to do next? A horror or a comedy or a drama? Whatever it is, I'm going to be there for it because I think she's a really solid director. Now, pivoting over and not brushing over the production elements of this film because I thought they were fantastic. The set designs and recreating that era to the clothes, the hair, the makeup, the music and the score was well woven into the film. The cinematography complemented the emotions that they're trying to invoke on you. All the production, top notch in my opinion. Now, switching over to the performances, and I don't know why I'm surprised at this point, because when it comes to Florence Pugh, she continues to show me why she's one of the hottest and most sought out actors in Hollywood right now, because she has to shoulder this film and she delivers, y'all. She does not disappoint. Florence Pugh is the centerpiece of this film, and you got to be on board with this character because you're following the character for 95% of the film, and the film wants you to kind of not be on her side at points. There's twists and turns. Is she sane? Is she losing her mind? Is it real? Is it fake? And I thought Florence Pugh just gave us a range of emotions, and it is just beyond impressive. She is just such an incredible actress, and she literally carries this film, and she does such a great job at doing so. But I don't want to neglect the supporting cast. I thought all the other actors were fine in their roles. I think of Gemma Chan. She did a good job. She's not in it a lot, but I liked her performance. Nick Kroll, KiKi Layne, and all of them overall did a good job. Let's talk about Harry Styles, because I know a lot of people are going to see this film because of him, and I know he has a big fan base, but I want to say we've only got a small sample of Harry Styles. I'll just speak for myself. Small role in Eternal, small role in Dunkirk, and this is like the biggest size that I've seen him as far as his roles go, and I thought it was fine. I bought the chemistry. I bought the relationship. His solo moments were okay. I do wish he had a little bit more oomph and a little bit more depth in his emotional scenes, but for a general performance, Harry Styles was fine. He wasn't as bad as some people would make it out to be, but he wasn't as great as his counterpart in Florence Pugh. But overall, I was impressed by what he was given. Now, the most impressive element from the supporting cast easily is Chris Pine. Chris Pine plays the character by the name of Frank, who's almost like this godlike figure within a town. The men look up to him. He's the boss at work. The women are listening to him while they're at work because he has like a radio station. And I've had my fair share of Chris Pine experiences when it comes to movies. And normally, he's the hero. He's the charmer. He's the handsome guy of the film. And I've seen Horrible Bosses too, and he was kind of the villain in that movie. But, it's a comedy at the end of the day. But this film, him being the villain or the bad guy, he needs to do it more often because he is devilishly good in this film, and I was just eating up all the scenes he had. He wasn't in it enough. I will say that. I wish he was in the film a little bit more, especially with him and Florence Pugh. I wanted more scenes of them, but Chris Pine as a package, as the supporting cast, he led the supporting cast. He was fantastic. So all those elements stood out to me. And I also want to bring up the overarching themes of chasing perfection or forcing your ideals on someone was kind of really well woven into the story for me. And when it comes to the psychological thrilling elements and this sense of paranoia, that stuff was good. And if I were to compare this to any other films I've seen in the past, it's kind of Stepford Wives meets WandaVision. Also, also meets Get Out. So it has some of those isms in the film that I really enjoy. But we got to transition over to my criticisms. And unfortunately, a director and a great performance can only go as far as a story. And for me, the story is easily the weakest component of this film. I felt the story was very surface level, especially when it comes to tackling the various themes that the film presents, especially when it comes to the whole idea of the film focusing on the stereotypical man goes to work, the woman stays home, cooks, clean, takes care of the kids. All that stuff to me was just so surface level in the film, and it never really dove deep into the conversation. It really didn't give us much to offer. It didn't expand upon anything. It didn't really say much in that narrative. And when it comes to the main reveal, which we'll talk about here in a second, it felt very familiar. The film has a lot of familiar beats. It's not as original as I hoped it was going to be, basically on the trailer and all the stuff I saw months ago. So praise Olivia Wilde's direction a little bit earlier, but I did feel as though in some cases in this film, she chose to go with the style over substance conversation. For example, there are many moments in the film where we get like these random vignettes of black and white and these kind of horrific nightmarish elements, and I wish the film would have focused less on that and focused more on the character development, focused more on the relationship. So I do wish Olivia would have gave us a little bit more substance instead of her style, and when you see the film you know what I'm referring to. But last little point I want to make here as far as my criticism, the film never felt boring, it never felt dull or any point, but I do feel like the build up to the twist was lacking. I felt like it needed more explanation. I needed more time in the scenes to understand the full scope of the situation. And without spoiling anything, I was just saying to myself, wait, how does this work? How long has this been going on? So again, I don't want to give too much away, but for me, the major reveal, the buildup was there. But when you see the reveal, I'm like, oh man, that's not as good as it leaded up to be. But I digress. So those are my pros, those are my cons. Before I give you all my overall thought and give you my score, if you haven't already, make sure to like the video, share the video, comment your thoughts in the comment section, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Overall, while the film does a good job at keeping you on the edge of your seat for the most part of its runtime and gives you a good sense of paranoia and the psychological elements, as well as a home run performance by Chris Pine and Florence Pugh, I ultimately felt that the film was a little bit empty and a little bit underwhelming, and I felt like I wanted more, especially from that twist. So overall, I'm going to give Don't Worry Darling a 3 out of 5. And based on everything I said, I would say give it a watch. And when you do, let me know your pros, your cons, your thoughts on the performances, the story. Again, that reveal. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And what did you think about those performances and the direction? Let's talk about it in the comments below. I appreciate every single one of you all for clicking on this video, watching the video up to this point. Again, just a friendly reminder to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and come and join this community. You all have been awesome. Hope you enjoyed today's commentary. Hope you're staying safe. As you can see on the screen now, click that button to come and join the family. Check out my other reviews for this year. Check out my most recent review, and we'll catch you all on the next breakdown.